In the shining halls of the Dominion Concord, the tall crystal beings called Vrenari stood proud. They moved with slow grace. Their bodies sparkled under bright lights, like living gems. The Vrenari led the great alliance of many species. All of them came from soft, safe worlds. None of them knew true danger. They looked at other life with calm, superior eyes. High Arbiter Vexlar was the voice of the Concord. He stood taller than most. His crystal skin glowed deep blue when he spoke. Today he addressed the full council. The chamber was huge. Rows of seats rose high. Many kinds of beings sat there. The Cathari, with their many fast arms, tapped notes. The Sylph formed one big soft cloud of linked minds. They all listened. "We have watched the rim for too long," Vexlar said. His voice rang clear and cold. "The rim holds worlds that resist order. They trade without our rules, they build without our plans. Worst of all, humans live there. Humans come from the worst death world known. Poison air. They drink acid water. They walk on ground that shakes and burns, yet they spread like weeds." A Cathari engineer raised 2 arms. "We sent probes to their home long ago. The probe died fast. Heat crushed it. Acid rain ate it. We saw humans fight storms bigger than cities. They laughed at danger. This cannot be normal." The Sylph mind hummed as one. They lack harmony. They act alone yet together. This breaks our way. We must bring them peace, our peace. Vexlar lifted one long hand. "Peace will come through strength. The Concord fleet is ready. Our ships have perfect shields, our beams cut clean. No blood, no mess. We will take the rim. We will fold human worlds into our care. They will learn civility, or they will fade." No one spoke against him. The council voted fast. Lights flashed green. Approval was total. The Dominion Concord would move at last. Weeks passed. Ships gathered at the edge of safe space. Huge white vessels floated in perfect lines. Each one gleamed. Each weapon waited. Silent crews trained in bright rooms. They practiced clean strikes. They dreamed of quick victory. Vexlar stood on the bridge of the flagship Harmony Dawn. He looked at screens that showed the target cluster. 7 human worlds lay close together. Small outposts, small ships, small hopes. The humans called their group the Frontier Pact. They had no central command. They had no grand council. They just helped each other when needed. Scout drones flew ahead. They sent back pictures. Human ships looked ugly. Thick hulls, black paint. Crude rockets belched fire. No grace, no elegance. Dominion sensors laughed at the sight. "These are not warships. These are toys." Vexlar gave the order, "Advance." The fleet moved smooth and fast. They crossed the line into human space. No warning, no message, just arrival. Harmony Dawn led the way. Other ships fanned out. Shields glowed bright. Beams charged. The first human world was called Haven 4. It had green fields and high mountains. Humans lived in strong towns. They grew food, they mined rock, they raised families. A small defense fleet orbited 6 old ships with patched hulls. Dominion beams fired once. Shields on human ships popped like soap bubbles. Hulls split open. Fire bloomed silent in vacuum. Debris spun away. The defense fleet died in minutes. Ground batteries tried to shoot back. Dominion ships dropped small drones. Drones rained precise fire. Towns burned clean. No ruins stayed. No bodies piled. Only ash marked where homes once stood. Vexlar watched from his chair. His face showed no joy, no anger, just calm. "This is order," he said. "This is necessary." Other worlds fell the same way. Quick, clean, quiet. Human messages flew out fast. "Help us," they said. "The enemy is here. They are many, they are strong." But no panic filled the words, just facts and short codes. One message repeated often. "Deathworlders inbound. Hold if able." Vexlar read the words and laughed clear and sharp. "Deathworlders," he said. "What a name for themselves. They think. It scares us. They are wrong." He turned to his officers. "Prepare landing forces. We will place garrisons on each world. Humans will kneel or vanish. Their time of freedom ends now. Troops moved to dropships. They wore light armor, bright white, plates thin and smooth. They carried long energy rifles. No need for heavy gear. The Dominion never fought hard battles. They never needed to. Dropships fell like silver rain. They landed near human cities. Soldiers stepped out. They expected fear. They expected surrender. Instead, humans met them. Different humans came. Some wore thick suits. Some carried heavy guns. Some smiled. Some did not speak at all. They fought in streets. They fought in forests. They fought in snow and heat. Dominion soldiers fell fast. Their armor cracked. Their beams missed. Humans moved strange. They ducked. They rolled. They used cover. They threw sharp metal. They fought dirty. One Vrenari officer sent a report back. His voice shook. They do not stop when hurt. They keep coming. One took 3 beams to chest and still charged. He broke my guard's neck with bare hands. This is not war. This is madness. Vexlar listened and frowned. For the first time, a small cold feeling touched his core. He pushed it down. No primitives can match us, he said. Order more troops. Land more ships. Press harder. Days turned to weeks. Dominion flags rose over human cities, but every night fires burned. Every day patrols vanished. Soldiers returned missing limbs or not at all. Reports grew longer. Humans used traps. They used animals. They used weather. They used everything. One report came from Kryn 9, an ice world far out. Dominion troops landed in triumph. They built warm domes. They set guards. Then night came. Storm winds howled. Humans appeared from light nothing. They wore suits that matched snow. They carried blades and guns. They walked through cold that froze Dominion blood in moments. Humans fought happy. They laughed as they killed. Survivors fled back to ships, screamed one phrase, over and over. They do not feel cold. They do not tire. They hunt us. Vexlar sat alone in his chamber. He looked at star maps. Green lights showed Dominion control. Red lights showed human resistance. Red lights grew. He spoke soft to himself. What are these Deathworlders? Outside the fleet waited. Orders came slow. More ships, more troops, more patience. But deep inside every Dominion heart, a new thought grew. Humans were not primitives. Humans were something else. Something dangerous. Something fearless. The rim burned quiet and steady. The Dominion thought victory was close. They were wrong. The true test had only begun. Months passed after the first landings. The Dominion Concord controlled the surface of every taken world. Flags of crystal and light flew high. Garrison bases stood strong. Soldiers patrolled wide streets. Supply ships arrived on schedule. Victory looked complete. High Arbiter Vexlar walked the halls of Harmony Dawn with calm steps. He reviewed reports. Numbers showed order restored. Trade lanes opened under Dominion rules. Resources flowed inward. Everything moved as planned. Then small cracks appeared. First, a supply convoy vanished near Haven 4. 7 large transports gone. No wreckage. No distress call. Just empty space. Dominion scouts searched for days. They found nothing. Vexlar ordered more guards on future convoys. He thought pirates or accidents. Humans had no fleet left. Or so he believed. Next came the garrisons. Trouble started slow. One night on a warm world called New Green, a patrol of 12 Cathari soldiers did not return. Their commander sent drones. Bodies torn apart. Cuts looked like claws. Teeth marks covered armor. No local animal matched the wounds. Dominion scientists checked records. Nothing fit. They blamed smuggled beasts. Humans loved dangerous pets. They said perhaps Deathworld creatures rode hidden on supply ships. Vexlar nodded. This made sense. Primitives used tricks. But the attacks grew. Teams vanished in forests, in mountains, In deep caves, bodies came back missing parts. Some showed burns from acid, some showed breaks from heavy force. One Sylph mind link broke sudden. A whole squad linked minds felt pain, then silence. The cloud mind shivered for hours. It whispered fear for the first time. Vexlar called council again. The chamber felt colder now. Officers spoke fast. Reports piled high. Sabotage hit power plants. Food stores burned quietly. Guards found traps. Wires pulled sharp. Spikes hidden in paths. Mines made from scrap. Humans did not fight open battles anymore. They struck and ran. They used shadows. They used night. Fear. A Renari captain stood tall. His crystal skin flickered, nervous. "We lose one soldier for every 10 we kill," he said. "But they do not break. They replace losses fast. New fighters arrive from hidden bases. We see no ships, yet they come." Vexlar listened. He felt the cold touch again. He pushed it away. "Order strikes on suspected hideouts," he said. "Burn the forests, clear the caves, show them our power." Dominion ships flew low. Beams carved wide paths. Fire ate green lands. Smoke rose thick. Humans did not flee. They waited. They watched. They struck back harder. Small groups in thick armor appeared from smoke. They carried launchers. They fired crude rockets. Explosions rocked shielded hulls. One beam turret fell. Another ship limped away with holes. Then the real defeat came. Kryn 9, the ice world. Dominion chose it to crush last resistance. Large force landed. 20 ships. Thousands of troops. Warm domes rose fast. Heaters hummed. Guards stood in lines. They expected easy work. Cold. Or so Dominion thought. First night passed quiet. Second night storm came. Winds howled loud. Snow flew thick. Visibility dropped to nothing. Dominion sensors blinked confused. Something moved in white. Nothing. Troops tightened ranks. They waited for dawn. Dawn never came easy. Humans came instead. Figures in white suits blended perfect with snow. They moved silent. They carried long knives, short guns, heavy clubs. They walked through -80 cold, like it was warm. Dominion soldiers froze in fear literally. Some suits cracked from temperature. Blood turned ice fast. Humans fought close. They grabbed, they stabbed, they broke, they laughed loud in wind. One human lifted a Cathari soldier high. He snapped the many arms like dry sticks. Another human charged through beams. His suit smoked. He kept coming. He tackled a Vrenari. He crushed the crystal chest with one fist. Dominion troops fired wild. Beams missed in storm. Humans used it. They flanked. They surrounded. They hunted. Officer broadcast panic. They do not feel cold. They do not tire. They hunt us for sport. Send help. Send everything. Survivors fled to ships. Few made it. Most died in snow. Bodies lay frozen in strange poses. Some looked like they tried to run. Some looked like they begged. Some looked surprised. Humans left messages carved in ice. "We are still here." Word spread fast through Dominion space. Soldiers whispered in barracks. Officers spoke low on bridges. Crews looked at stars different now. The rim no longer felt safe. Humans no longer seemed small. The name Deathworlders changed meaning. It no longer sounded funny. It sounded like warning. Vexlar sat in his private room. He stared at hologram maps. Green lights still showed control. Red dots marked losses. Red dots grew fast. He touched one dot. It zoomed to show Kryn 9. Pictures showed broken domes, torn armor, frozen faces. He felt something new. Real fear. Not just cold touch. Deep fear in core. Reports kept coming. A mining base on Acid World lost all workers overnight. No fight signs. Just empty suits and blood trails. A research station on Volcano Moon found empty chairs, warm food half-eaten, then nothing. A passenger liner carrying families vanished near human border. Last message said, shapes in dark, big shapes, Quiet shapes, then silence. Vexlar ordered full alert. Fleets moved to guard core worlds. Ships patrolled tight. Sensors swept wide. Nothing came yet. But everyone waited. Something built. Something big. Then scouts found first clue. A small human ship jumped near edge. It broadcast one message short and clear. Deathworlders coming. Hold if able. No threat, no demand. Just fact. Vexlar played recording again. He looked at officers. They looked back pale. Some crystal skins dimmed. Some many arms trembled. Some mind clouds shrank. He stood slow. We underestimated, he said. We thought primitives. We thought weak. We were wrong. He turned to comms officer. Word to every world. Double guards. Triple sensors. Watch the rim close. Humans move soon. And when they come, we meet them. Not as masters, but as equals who learned too late. Outside Harmony, dawn the stars looked colder. The Dominion, once sure of victory, now felt small. The rim no longer quiet. It whispered back. The Deathworlders woke, and they did not forgive easy. The true war had started, not with fleets crashing, not with beams lighting space, but with shadows growing, with fear spreading, with humans who never stopped, with Deathworlders who feared nothing. And the Dominion finally understood peril, real peril, not from weapons, not from ships, but from species born hard, born tough, born fearless. They waited now, not as conquerors, but as prey who finally saw the hunter. The Dominion Concord tried to hold what they took. Soldiers stayed in fortified bases. Ships patrolled tight lines. Supply routes got extra guards. Reports of human attacks slowed for a short time. High Arbiter Vexlar allowed himself hope. Maybe the primitives tired. Maybe they ran out of tricks. Maybe order returned at last. Then the core world screamed. First signals came from deep inside Dominion space. A mining colony on Thaler Prime sent panic words. Something eats our ships. Something moves too fast. Something covers the sky. Sensors failed one by one. Then silence. The next day, 3 more systems went dark. No battle cries. No last stands. Just quiet gone. Vexlar demanded answers. Scouts raced inward. They found horror. Hive ships, black and spiked, drifted through space. Thousands of small pods swarmed like angry insects. They landed on planets. They bored into hulls. They consumed crews whole. The Vorath swarm had woken. The ancient enemy, thought dead for centuries, returned hungry. Vorath moved different from any foe. They did not negotiate. They did not conquer. They ate. Everything organic turned to biomass. Everything metal turned to scrap. Whole fleets vanished in days. Systems became empty husks. Dominion worlds that once shone bright turned dark and dead. Vexlar watched hologram feeds. His crystal hands shook for first time. Ships tried to fight. Beams cut through carapace, but more came. Shields held, then cracked, then failed. Boarding pods slammed home. Vorath warriors poured out. They had no fear. They had no pain. They had only hunger. Dominion soldiers died fast. Some ran, some hid, some begged. None survived. The council met in fear. The chamber lights dimmed. Voices rose high. We lose core production. We lose population. We lose time. A Cathari general spoke fast. Our fleets stretch thin. The rim garrisons bleed us. The humans still strike. We cannot hold both fronts. A Sylph cloud pulsed red. We feel the swarm minds. They think as one. They grow. Stronger with each meal. Our harmony breaks under weight. We need help. We need anything. Vexlar stood silent. He looked at maps. Green Dominion space shrank fast. Red Vorath tendrils spread wide. Blue human rim stayed stubborn, small but untouched. The swarm avoided human borders. Why? No one knew. but facts stared back. Humans fought Vorath before. They won before. Small colonies on swarm edge held lines when Dominion fleets ran. And old scout reports surfaced from years back. Human outposts used firebombs, used poison gas, used traps of spinning blades. They burned hive nests. They cut synapse links. They killed queens when no one else could. Dominion laughed then, called it barbaric, called it crude. Now no one laughed. Vexlar made choice he never thought possible. He walked to main comm array. He ordered open channel, all frequencies, all languages, no encryption, no pride, just truth. This is High Arbiter Vexlar of Dominion Concord. We face extinction. The Vorath swarm returns. Our worlds fall. Our people die. We ask aid from all who hear. From humans of Rim, from Deathworlders we once scorned. We are in peril. We require the fearless Deathworlders. Come if you will. Come if you can. We stand ready to listen. Message flew out. It reached every relay, every beacon, every listening post. In safe space citizens heard. In conquered Rim humans heard. Traders whispered. Fleet captains paused. Families gathered around screens. The galaxy listened. On human worlds reactions mixed. Some laughed. Some cursed. Some remembered old wounds. But leaders met fast. Frontier-packed council gathered on rugged station called Last Hold. Captains from many colonies spoke plain words. The Dominion heard us. They burned our homes. They killed our kin. Now they beg. Should we help? Should we ignore? Should we watch them burn? One old Marine stood. He lost leg on Haven 4. He spoke rough. We fight swarm anyway. They come for us next. If Dominion falls, we face full tide alone. Better fight together. Better use their ships. Better make them pay. Price later. Votes came quick. Not mercy, not friendship, simple need. The Rim would answer, not for Dominion, but for survival. Word went back, short and clear. Deathworlders heard. We come. Hold if able. Vexlar received reply on bridge. He read words again. No demands yet. No threats. Just arrival. He felt strange mix. Relief, fear, hope. He turned to officers. Prepare reception. No weapons, no shields, open channels. Let them see we mean peace. Days passed. Vorath pressed harder. Capital System Aloria Prime saw first attacks. Hive scouts probed outer defenses. Dominion fleet met them. Numbers favored swarm. Ships cracked one by one. Escape pods launched. Frantic crews died screaming. Vexlar watched from Harmony Dawn. His flagship shook from near misses. He knew end came close. Then sensors lit. New contacts, jump signatures, many. Rough signatures, crude rockets, human signatures. Fleet appeared, not polished, not neat. Dozens of ships, ugly hulls, thick armor, extra guns. Welded on. Converted freighters bristled weapons. Private raiders flew loose formations. Colony defense boats darted fast. One heavy cruiser led UNSS Indomitable Will. Big, scarred, tough. It broadcast single line. We answered. Vexlar opened channel. His voice steady. We welcome you. We thank you. Vorath swarm surrounds us. We lose ground fast. Human captain appeared on screen. Woman, tall, short hair, gray eyes hard. She wore plain uniform. No rank flash. Captain Mara Voss spoke flat. You called, we came. Terms later. First fight now. Vexlar bowed slight. Crystal head lowered. We agree. Fight now. Screens showed human ships move. They did not form pretty lines. They charged, they split, they flanked. They used speed, they used mass. They rammed when needed. Vorath pods met human fire. Human guns spoke loud. Solid slugs punched through carapace. Explosions bloomed inside hives. Human boarding teams launched. Small craft full of armored figures. They cut into enemy hulls. They fought in dark tunnels. They used knives. They used fire. They used everything. Dominion watched, stunned. Humans moved like storm. They ignored losses. They pushed forward. They laughed on open channels. One voice shouted over comms, "Come get some bugs." Another answered with wild cheer. Vexlar felt something shift. Pride broke. Fear eased. Awe grew. These were Deathworlders, not primitives, not barbarians, survivors, born from hard world, made for hard fight. Fearless, not because brave, but because fear never helped. Vorath's swarm recoiled. First time in memory, they pulled back, pods retreated, hive ships turned slow, humans chased, they harried, they struck, they did not stop. Night fell on Eloria Prime, skies cleared, stars showed bright. Dominion citizens looked up. They saw human ships guard, their once enemies now shields. They felt strange new thought, gratitude, mixed with respect, mixed with quiet terror. The peril deepened, but help arrived, the fearless ones came, and galaxy changed forever. The battle for Eloria Prime raged fierce. Human ships pushed forward without hesitation. The heavy cruiser UNSS Indomitable Will led the charge. Its thick hull shrugged off Vorath acid sprays. Its guns roared solid rounds that tore through black carapace. Captain Mara Voss stood on the bridge. She watched screens flash with data. Her crew worked calm and fast. No panic showed. No one shouted orders. They just did what needed done. Vorath hive ships filled the sky like dark clouds. Pods detached in thousands. They flew straight at Dominion vessels. Dominion shields flickered, then failed. Boarding began. Vorath warriors spilled into corridors. They moved quick. Their claws clicked on metal. Their mandibles snapped. Dominion crew fought back with energy rifles. Beams lit narrow halls. But Vorath kept coming. Numbers favored them. Hunger drove them. Vexlar watched from Harmony Dawn. His flagship shook hard. A pod struck near engineering section. Alarms screamed. Vrenari officers tried to hold lines. Their crystal bodies cracked under claw strikes. Cathari soldiers lost many arms. Sylph mind cloud thinned as links broke. Vexlar felt the end close. He spoke to comms officer. "Open channel to humans now." Mara Voss answered fast. Her face filled the screen. "You still stand," she said. "Good. We need your firepower on left flank. Vorath Queens link there. Break the synapse chain and swarm slows." Vexlar nodded. "We comply." He turned to weapons officer. "Target left cluster. Full power." Dominion beams lanced out. They hit hive ship's side. Carapace split open. Vorath poured from wound. But humans moved faster. Small assault craft launched from Indomitable Will. They carried Deathworlder boarding teams. Men and women in heavy sealed suits. They jumped void. They cut into hulls. They fought inside dark tunnels. Inside one hive ship, Sergeant Reyes led his squad. He carried big autocannon. He fired bursts that shredded Vorath drones. His team followed close. Flash. Grenades. They used thermite charges. They burned paths forward. One team member took claw to chest. Suit sealed fast. He kept shooting. He laughed rough. "Come on, bugs. More room in here." Another squad found Queen Chamber. Big ugly thing pulsed on throne of flesh. It screamed psychic wave. Soldiers dropped to knees. Minds filled with noise. But humans trained for this. They wore dampeners. They pushed forward. Grenades flew. Queen exploded in green ichor. Hive mind stuttered. Swarm outside Sloan, confused. Vexlar saw change on sensors. Vorath attacks faltered. Pods pulled back. Hive ships turned slow. Humans pressed advantage. They rammed damaged hives. They fired point blank. They boarded more. They never stopped. Mara Voss hailed Vexlar again. "Terms time," she said. "We bleed for your capital. You pay price." Vexlar stood straight on his bridge. He knew moment came. He spoke clear. "We listen. Name conditions." Voss listed them slow. "First, all human prisoners free, now. No delay. No tricks." Second Frontier Systems recognized sovereign no dominion claim ever again. Third, reparations paid. Rare isotopes for reactors. Advanced shield schematics for our ships. Fourth, never call us primitives again. Not in private, not in public, not ever. Vexlar hesitated. One Vorath pod struck Harmony Dawn hard. Bridge lights dimmed. Air hissed from cracks. Officers shouted. Damage reports poured in. Vexlar looked at screen. He saw human ships still fought. They held line. They bought time. He bowed, crystal head low. Agreed. All terms accepted. Voss nodded sharp. Good. Now watch how Deathworlders finish fight. Human fleet shifted formation. They formed wedge. Indomitable will at point. They charged Central Hive. Biggest ship in swarm. Queen Mother waited inside. Humans knew this. They targeted it. Heavy guns spoke. Nuclear devices launched. Crude by Dominion standards, but effective. Warheads detonated inside hulls. Carapace cracked like eggs. Fire bloomed. Radiation flooded chambers. Vorath screamed one last time. Queen Mother died. Hive mind shattered. Swarm broke. Complete retreat. Pods fled. Hive ships limped away, trailing ichor and debris. Dominion sensors tracked them far. They ran toward core. They would not return soon. Silence fell over Aloria Prime. Skies cleared. Stars showed again. Dominion fleet hung damaged but alive. Human ships floated nearby. Guns cooled. Crews rested. Vexlar opened final channel to Indomitable Will. Thank you, he said. You saved us. You saved everything. Mara Voss appeared tired but steady. We saved ourselves too. Swarm would come for Rim next. We just sped schedule. She paused, then added, Welcome to Galaxy, neighbor. No more masters, no more servants. Just survivors side by side. Vexlar felt strange warmth in crystal core. Not pride, not victory. Something new. Respect. He spoke soft. We once feared your name. Now we understand it. Fearless Deathworlders. You earned title long ago. We were blind. Voss gave small smile. You see clear now. Start human boarding teams returned to ships. They brought data cores from Vorath Rex. They brought samples. They brought stories. Dominion medics treated wounded humans. Some lost limbs. Some burned bad. But they walked tall. They joked. They asked for food. Dominion cooks hurried. They brought soft, safe meals. Humans ate polite, then asked for hot sauce. Dominion blinked. Hot sauce. Humans laughed. We like burn. On surface, citizens watched. Humans walked streets. They helped clear rubble. They lifted heavy beams. They talked quiet with children. Dominion young ones stared wide-eyed at tall figures in scarred armor. One child touched human hand. Human knelt low. Hello, small one, he said. No more bad bugs. Vexlar walked planetside for first time since attack. He met Mara Voss face to face. She stood taller than him. Her gray eyes met his glow. She offered hand. Vexlar took it. Careful. Crystal met flesh. No harm came. We start new page, he said. No more peril from us. Voss nodded. No more peril from us either. But galaxy big. More threats wait. We face them together or not at all. They stood quiet. Stars wheeled above. Capital city lights came back slow. Dominion and human crews worked side by side. No orders, no force, just need. Night deepened. Aloria Prime breathed again. Ships repaired slowly. Wounds healed slowly. Trust built slow, but it built. High above, Harmony Dawn and Indomitable Will floated close. No weapons aimed, no shields raised, just two flags. Different colors, different styles, but same sky. The confrontation ended, not with surrender, not with conquest, but with understanding. Enemies in peril found help from fearless Deathworlders, and galaxies shifted quiet towards something better, towards something harder, towards something real. Aloria Prime slowly came back to life after the swarm retreated. Skies stayed clear for many days. Dominion repair crews worked around the clock. They fixed broken domes. They rebuilt power lines. They cleared twisted metal from streets. Human teams joined them. No one asked. Humans just showed up. They carried heavy loads. They welded plates. They dug trenches. Dominion citizens watched from windows. They saw tall figures in scarred armor. They saw humans laugh while lifting beams too heavy for most species. Captain Mara Voss walked the main boulevard with High Arbiter Vexlar. Guards followed at distance. No weapons showed. No tension filled air. Vexlar spoke first. Your people help without command. Why? Voss looked straight ahead. We know broken worlds. We know what comes after fight. We fix what we can, when we can. No debt, no favor, just sense. Vexlar nodded slow. His crystal skin caught morning light. We once thought help came from weakness. Now we see strength in it. We learn. They stopped near Central Plaza. Children gathered. Brave ones stepped close. A small sylph child reached out. Soft tendril. Voss knelt. She let it touch her hand. The child mind-linked, gentle. Warmth flowed back. The child smiled wide. Others watched amazed. Word spread fast. Humans did not bite. Humans did not roar. Humans helped. Dominion families invited crews to homes. They served soft, safe food. Humans brought their own spices. They shared stories around tables. Dominion listened to tales of ice storms, of volcano climbs, of oceans that ate ships. They heard laughter mixed with pain. They heard pride in survival. One night, big feast happened in Grand Hall. Vexlar hosted it. Tables stretched long. Food from every world sat side by side. Dominion dishes delicate and light. Human dishes hot and strong. Music played soft at first. Then humans brought drums. They beat hard rhythm. Dominion musicians joined. Strange new sound filled hall. Everyone moved. Some danced awkward. Some danced free. Laughter echoed high. Vexlar raised glass. He spoke to room. We stood against swarm. We stood together. Once we called you Deathworlders with scorn. Now we call you allies with respect. You taught us peril comes to all. You taught us fearlessness wins. You taught us galaxy bigger than one way. Mara Voss stood next. She lifted her glass too. To new neighbors, to hard fights won, to harder peace kept. Glasses clinked. Crystal met metal. Soft met rough. Cheers rose loud. Days turned weeks. Human ships stayed. Some helped rebuild. Others patrolled outer edges. They watched for swarm scouts. They trained Dominion crews. New ways, new tactics. Dominion soldiers learned to move in cold. They learned to ignore pain. They learned to use simple tools when fancy ones failed. Humans taught patient. No rush, no anger, just steady work. One human sergeant named Reyes trained Cathari recruits. He showed them knife work. He showed them close fight. Cathari arms moved fast but soft. Reyes taught hard strikes. Taught dirty tricks. Cathari laughed. First time in battle drill. They felt new power. They felt respect. On research stations, scientists shared notes. Dominion gave shield math. Humans gave radiation tricks. Together they built better armor, better weapons, better hope. Prisoners came home. All human captives walked free. They stepped onto transports. They hugged families. They told stories. Dominion guards bowed low. No chains, no guards, just open gates. Reparations arrived. Rare isotopes filled human olds. Shield schematics copied clean. Frontier worlds cheered. They built new stations. They raised new ships. They stood taller. Vexlar met council again. Chamber felt different now. No fear, no pride, just calm. Members spoke open. We change, we grow, we include, we learn. Vote came quick. Dominion Concord renamed itself Galactic Concord. New charter written, all species equal, all voices heard. Humans accepted seat, no throne, no crown, just chair. Years passed quiet. Aloria Prime became meeting place. Ships from Rim docked often. Humans walked markets. They bought crystal art. They sold sturdy tools. Trade flowed both ways. Stories mixed. Old Dominion tales of harmony. New human tales of grit. Children grew up hearing both. One day, Mara Voss stood on Harmony Dawn Bridge. She looked at stars. Vexlar joined her. Old friends now. Old scars shared. You ever think we reach here? She asked. Vexlar answered soft. No, but I glad we did. Peril taught us much. Fearless ones showed path. Voss smiled small. We all fearless when cornered. Some just born that way. They watched fleet pass. Human cruiser flew beside Dominion battle wagon. Flags flew together. Colors bright against black. Somewhere on Rim new colony rose. Humans and Dominion settlers worked side by side. They built homes strong against storms. They planted gardens. They raised young ones who knew no old hate. Galaxy remembered day swarm broke. It remembered who came. It remembered who stood. It remembered why. Deathworlders no longer name to mock. It became title of honor. Fearless, not boast, but fact. Enemies once in peril now stood as friends. Peril passed, but lesson stayed. Never scorn the hard-born. Never fear the tough heart. Never forget who saves when all seems lost. Stars burned steady. Worlds turned calm. Peace held firm. Not from weakness, not from force, but from understanding, from shared fight, from new respect. And in quiet nights on many worlds, people looked up. They whispered thanks to fearless Deathworlders, who turned peril into hope, who turned enemies into kin, who showed Galaxy true strength lies not in shine, but in will to endure.